Hi guys, welcome to the streets of London. My name's Monty. I'm usually out and about exploring this amazing city and evaluating property prices, locations, and just generally how the market's going and the vibe that we get in this wonderful city, which is London. What I've decided to do is a daily video where I select an article which I think is important for Londoners, but not only that, I think it's important for other communities within the UK, because there's going to be other topics that we're going to be talking about or picking, which include taxes, stamp duty, other legislation changes that are going to be affecting everybody. If you are interested in property, hit that subscribe button, and with that said, let's get started. So I came across a article which was the London map, which I love, and it had a banana over it, and somebody sent me this article and said, have a look at this, Mont. And I was reading it, and there's a guy that's plastered a banana across the map of London, and what he's saying is that everything that fits within this banana is the best locations in London. So the article reads, London Banana, the facts and fiction behind one man's map. One journalist says his take on the capital's geography dictates where you should spend your time. But is he right? We dig into some of the points that he's raising. What I wanted to also do is just find out a little bit about the person who wrote this article. So I'm going to give you a little bit of a background on him. His name is Sol Sadka. He's a 37-year-old single socialite, originally from northwest London, but now lives in Tel Aviv. And whilst he was in Tel Aviv, he's claimed to have discovered the 2,500-year-old forgotten structure of the Torah. I think the key word that I'm going to take from there is Saud Sadka is the 37-year-old single socialite. And with this article, I think the word banana or bananas is going to be relevant. So with that said, that's a little bit of a background in terms of who this person is. And let's see what he's got to actually say about London. Right, so the locations that he's put within the banana, or some of the locations, it starts off in the north of London, which is Cockfosters. It goes down to Barnet, Boreham Wood, Friar Barnet, Muswell Hill, Finchley, East Finchley, Golders Green, Highgate, Stoke Newington, which also borders onto Stamford Hill. Now, every one of those locations, bar two, are what I would call mainly Jewish residential locations. And anybody that knows London would agree with me that Golders Green has got a large Jewish community. I'm not saying it's good, I'm not saying it's bad, I'm just giving you the facts of who's living there. It's the same as I would say about Southall. Southall is mainly an Indian location and a Punjabi location. Forest Gate is mainly a Asian community, and Golders Green, Mill Hill, Finchley, Barnet do have a large Jewish community. That's just the way London works. So there's nothing meant by it, just so you know. But those areas do come within the banana. Are they hot locations? Are they tourist attractions? In my opinion, no. We then come down towards Kentish Town, Canonbury, Camden Town, Islington. All very similar. Kentish Town doesn't have much to offer. Camden Town is one of the best places in London in terms of tourist attractions. And then you've got Canonbury, which not many tourists would know about or visit. Coming a little bit further down, we've got Westminster. Westminster is a borough. Within that borough, it's got locations like Tottenham Court Road, Oxford. Actually, Tottenham Court Road may come under Camden, or the London Borough of Camden. But it has Mayfair, West One locations, Baker Street, St John's Wood would come under Westminster, I believe. And then it has various other locations. So that's like epicenter London. And then he's going down towards Fulham, which is on this side of the river, which is quite nice. Battersea, south of the river, has seen a big regeneration with Nine Elms. Personally, I don't think it's aspirational London, and it's overpriced. although you have got something to see there, which is now the Battersea Power Station and the new mall that foreign investment brought into the UK, which is the Malaysian EPF fund, who have created something very special and brought Battersea Power Station back to life. And then it goes a bit further down towards Putney, Richmond, Wimbledon, New Malden, okay, decent. And then it goes all the way down towards Esher and Surbiton. Esher and Surbiton I'm not too sure about, and then there's a location called Oxshott, and I don't really know much about that. So that's within the banana. So what are the locations that he's actually missed outside of the banana that actually offer a little bit more? And let's have a look here. Okay, travel perks. Living inside the London banana gives you access to more tube lines compared to living outside of the banana. This is perhaps unsurprising given that it hosts most big tourist hotspots, Soho, Camden and Kensington, as well as housing the Houses of Parliament, most of the embassies and several royal parks. Although there is a tube dead zone outside a bit further on the southeast of London. Okay, fairly true. Mainly in this location you're going to have the Northern Line, but coming from out of the banana you've also got the Piccadilly line, and you've also got what we have is the Victoria line, which I believe is one of the fastest lines in London, and it's one of the fastest growing areas for capital appreciation. So Walthamstow, for example, is one end, and on the other side you've got Brixton, and both of those locations have seen phenomenal growth, and there has also been a big regentrification coming into those locations. So I don't necessarily agree that it's got the best travel. Food and drink are the lifeblood of London. Next point. And here the banana apparently really comes into its own. Times analysis shows that there are 71 restaurants with at least one Michelin star inside the banana. And I'm going to ask you a very simple question. How many of you have actually been to a Michelin star restaurant, and how many Londoners frequent a Michelin star restaurant on a regular basis? It would mainly be for tourists coming into London. We've got great shops, great restaurants, great culture, and that's what makes London an amazing place. But you don't just say everything outside the banana is rubbish. That's wrong. Let's move on. Out of the banana has a better spread. Well said. Thank you, The Times. There are more pubs, bars and nightclubs outside the banana, 2,517. Okay, better quality nightlife and hotspots such as Hackney and Peckham. Hackney I know is decent. Old Street, Whitechapel, Shoreditch, buzzing, and it has a nice IT crowd there. So yeah, Peckham I don't really know about, besides Only Fools and Horses, Del Boy and Rodney. So maybe that's changed and I need to go down there. Moving on to the next one. The banana's got its charms, but London is most interesting outside. The residents of Dulwich are not known for their online outrage. Look, I'm going to just skip through this, but Dulwich is a great location. It's a little bit further than Brixton. It's got Dulwich Village. It's got great school, great houses and a great community. So he's definitely missed out on Dulwich. Moving on, we've got Penge, became a street art hotspot. I don't really know about it. Unfashionable neighbours. Sydenham is already on the glow up to the east. Stratford is the new home of some of the capital's must-do attractions like the V&A Storehouse, and Hackney and Stoke Newington have some of the capital's best delis, groceries, butchers and fishmongers. So I'm going to ask this guy Sol, have you ever been to Stoke Newington High Street and looked at how cool it is there? It's very reminiscent of parts of northwest London, which include Primrose Hill and also Westbourne Grove. A very similar profile, but they're local London, UK, English people, as opposed to international residents that would live in Westbourne Grove. But you've got to know the difference. Anyway, I think you failed there, Sol. You don't really know what you're talking about when it comes to London, and I actually think you're bananas. Now, what I'm going to say is, why has this person written this article? And also, what effects do you think it has on people's aspirations on where to buy? Will it increase prices? Will it decrease prices? Is there an agenda behind it? What's the story? So make sure to comment and let me know what your thoughts are, whether you think the locations that are within the banana, and what your thoughts are on other areas outside the banana. Some of the responses, let me just read a couple of the responses for you from the article. Mr. David Brown says, surely they are kept deliberately in the dark. Okay. H.J. Jones say, looking forward to collapsing house prices in Chiswick and Kew. I don't think so. It's an aspirational location. Mr. H. Cochrane says, some people in Kew and Chiswick are envious of those living in Islington, Mill Hill and Kentish Town. H. Cochrane, do not be envious. I think that Kew and Chiswick are amazing locations, and I think they are much nicer than Kentish Town, that's for sure. Mill Hill included. Islington is also a little bit more diverse. At least you've got nice green spaces, big wide roads, trees, greenery and so on, and parks, and you've got some really nice shops that are being gentrified as well. So I would say you're in a good location. And then there's one more comment that I'm going to just put down here, which is Howard Davies. As a resident of rural Shropshire, you can imagine my delight in being acquainted with such metropolitan goings on. Mr. Howard Davis, London is London, and we are in an aspirational city of the world that attracts tourists globally from the USA, from Asia, Singapore, Malaysia, Australia, Qatar, Kuwait. It is a happening and buzzing city, and we love it. So next time you're in London, make sure you try and enjoy some of the wonderful attractions and culture that we have here. With that said, I hope to see you again tomorrow. So make sure you put some comments in. Let me know what your thoughts are. Hope you enjoyed this one, guys. Take care. Monty, I'll see you later. Bye.